Oh. Alright, welcome back. And in this videos, I'm going to continue to work on the CLI builder and finish all of the basic options. So in the last video, we have done the version, and in this video, we will do the help and then the debug CLI. Is there another one? Actually, I forgot. Let me take a look. Help version and log. Right. Change the display level using verbose and silence. So, without further ado, let's get to it. So the first things we're going to work on is the help, which kind of already have the logic there, and so just need to do some cleanup. So compared to the last video, I have also added test for the long version of using version, and that works fine as expected because we are using the Yeoman argument parser, right? So it does that automatically. And also means that we did properly do the alias over here, right? So that's working, but I have this test in the version 6, and I also port it over because when you're working with external libraries, you still want to test the behavior in case the external library have a bug and it stopped working, or it changed the behavior, it stopped working, right? So it is important to also write tests for all these cases, even though they are the logic is not implemented by you but by third-party libraries, by your dependencies. So that's why I have that. And so now go to the help. So the first one is do the show help, and then the second one also do the long one. One is -h, and they right now doesn't work, as you can see over here. And the reason is pretty simple, because I have not implemented here. Oh, where is the builder command? By the way, actually it turns out I have it over here, so this file likely is not being used. Let me delete it. So after that is deleted, it should still fail, right? And then arguments help, then show help, right? Return, and then that. Okay, and of course, well, actually it's working. If we look at the test, is actually printing out. It's just that my expectation, the test is wrong, and the reason is I just copy it from the version. So let's fix the test by having this, right? So so this is the default help message. And now over here, I'm going to change a little bit. Get help message, and then put in the name of the CLI, and that call me old school. I still like to use write the code like this instead of just using the arrow function. And so what did I get here? I do not have the name. Is this really right? Hold on a second. To be runnable, this is testing. Oh, that's the description message. What should I do here? So I should also add the description, and which means because the CLI have the name and description in place, so over here I can actually get the CLI, and the type is CLI builder any, and I can leave it like that, or I can do say pick and take the name and description. Right, that's all I need. Right, so over here, then this is the CLI.name, and then here is the CLI description. Okay, so with that, get help message CLI, that should pass if things goes well. You know, never say never until the test actually passes. And actually it does not pass. It should not pass because it's missing the name. It's missing the name. So we expect the string bin, which is correct. We have that, but the actual output does not have it. So we need to take a look at that. So that have this command. Okay, so it's, I see. So because we are relying on the default command right now, and the default command is the string is the message is empty, right? And what the name is empty, and also the description is missing because it's the default command, right? So I should change it, right? So instead of a static CLI builder command, I should export a function get default command. Well, get CLI builder command. Well, the wording is actually bothering me a little bit. So let get base command or bottom command. It's a little bit weird, but I'm passing the CLI. I'm passing the same information, right? Because I don't. Let's see what other information can be here. There is a description, the argument, those things we don't need. The alias we don't need. So really it's just the name and description. So will be the same thing like this. And then here we will return that. And then that would be get the name and description. This is name and this is description. So but then I'm missing something as CLI command. All right, there you go. So this is get bottom command. So this need to change and get bottom command, and over here is become get bottom command, and this. Name are incompatible. Oh, my name can be undefined over here in the base, but I know it's actually defined, right? Because when I get the state, it will be defined. Hold on a second. Why this dot name is? Oh, is you get a parcel? Why did I get a parcel here? What is this? Oh, yeah, it's a partial COI. Hold on a second. So types. When it goes to the pass, this is a parcel builder. Does it need to be a partial builder? So by that time, I have all this information. This can be still null, undefined. That's okay. The config can be still any. It can be missing. That's okay. And essentially, I don't really care, right? I pass this. What I receive, I don't really need anything from here, because all of my data is extracted out in this state, and I'm using this state. So I don't really need this to be a builder, except in this case. Okay, so I can change this to builder. That's fine to get this pass. Like that, and you know, just leave it like that, right? In fact, since I am not using it, I don't even need the generics. Go away. Like that. That will still be fine, I guess, except here. Okay, this get bottom command. And this is not completed yet, so okay, so just get the first one, which is the last one at this stage, right? Don't care too much about that, and this should pass. Oh, it does not. Let's see. What's the error? Oh, get. I'm expecting. the two space. Here. Let's say, for example, like that. Although that's not really what I want. Let me just do this first. Do this, because this is a case that where I do not have description. Okay, now that passed. So, but I do want to encounter, you know, account for the description. So if it doesn't have it, I just return an empty string. If not, I have this. Have space. It will look a little bit weird, and say CLI description, and then have an empty line like that. Okay, so that should still pass. Hope it does not. That. Okay, that would probably looks better. Okay, so that's that. That's passing. Let me just save it one more time. Okay, so and then I'm going to write another test. With CLI description. Okay, so this one, we just do that same thing, but this time we use another one. Let's say single, right? Single. So let's take a look at my test over here. Yeah, that's a description. That's a single bin app. Okay, so let's see. Nope, is have a extra space, extra line, essentially this. There you go. All right, so that works. Now, let's. What is the warning over here? Let's clean it up first. CLI, I don't never use. This day is never used, but it is used. What's going on here? Yeah, I'm using it. Or is no, or unless I did something wrong. It's likely that I did because I created a command over here. Nope, that's not the case. Oh, unusual. It shouldn't be like that. It should be fine. Don't know. We'll see. Because later on might be I will end up. Well, no. Hold on. No. None of all this doesn't. Oh, I see. Recursive. Let's say app. Oh, I see. Yeah, because over here, because I call this variable CLI and then I also using the namespace, so TypeScript get confused. So changing this to app will fix that problem. So that's good. That's good. So now, let's take a look what else I have here. So I have the show help, I have this one, and yep, that's it. And over here, I have 2 additional tasks I add as a to-do, but right now I haven't really finished the pass out. Oh yeah, actually, I really haven't finished the pass argument on all the cascading commands and all that stuff. But in the last video, I said I implement that, right? So, oh well. So anyway, these two tasks is useful and it makes sense in the help kind of. We'll see, but I'm not going to do it right now. So mark them as to do. So that's that. So let's check it in. Right. Add show help support. Standard options. Okay. So now here is the silence and verbose, and up to this point I have not really add much things in there, add much logs in there. So which we will be going to do. So the first thing is silence. So let's take a look at the get bottom command. So silence doesn't have any alias, so that's yeah, instead of make it a group using describe, I am going to just get this over, and of course all of this doesn't work. So let me change that to this, and now silence. So on that, on this one, I suppose to say, you know, in this test is I'm doing CLI dot default and run, and then say this dot UI info, right, and then put that as silence, and then get the message, and the message should be empty. So let's see. It's not empty, but you know, it fell because of it fell with this boolean of undefined. And so let's take a look at that. So that is this code process argument, right? So it is saying this options itself is undefined because of this. So let's fix that. So basically saying this is can be optional. Let's do this undefined, and then the field option, this can be undefined, and if option and that, then I'm doing something. So alright, but it receive should not print. That is exactly how I expect it to fail. So now let's see. So this logging thing is really a CLI level thing, right? So unfortunately, I do have to add that in here. So if it is silence, then I want to say context.ui.display level to log levels dot none. Oh no, I have changed that to this, to none. Yeah, not. I wrap it around not, although internally it's actually using the standard log that I wrote, but at this level, this code, I have wrapped it around to return, you know, to set these three values to make it a bit easier to manage. So you can see now it works. So that take care of the silence. Okay, so feature add silent port. So that's good. So the next one, yeah, without command, that's not what I'm looking for. Verbose, they said gave out the verbose. Okay. So we have these. Oh, these are, yeah, so these are the tests that I was talking about, that those arguments will not be passed down. Well, in the previous video I talked about the alias, right? Over here is also talk about the actual default options will not pass down to the command. And well, it depends on what I'm going to do. I might clean it up in a per command basis, because now this process argument, I am returning both the command and the argument, so they are kind of combined together. So what happened is I can base on the command that match that will going to handle these arguments, and then I've cleaned up the arguments to only contain information that that command needs, right? So that's probably the way that I will go. And but at right now, you know, because we haven't get into the command yet, it's okay. So here is the test. So the test is, yeah, since the silence is also one such command. So let me actually add this silence. It's so cold. My finger is getting numb and slow. Okay, so to do silence, it is command run will not get silence. Okay, since it doesn't have the alias, it will skip that. But the help, for the help, it will, because it will pass that down, and so that the command can do their own thing. But for silence and for verbose, it shouldn't. So let's do that. So verbose. Verbose enables debug log. For debug message. Okay, so over here I'm going to use the same code, and then this would say should print, right? And then this would be should print. Okay, so do that. Run again, I know. Oh. Okay, it is printing because I'm not using debug. So now, when I change to debug, it should not print. Yep. But when I specify verbose, then it should print, but of course it does not, because I have not implemented the logic yet. So arguments verbose, then context UI display level equals to debug. There you go. So that works, and then I am going to copy the same thing and say V. No, capital V. should do the same thing. Again, this is already provided by the human argument parser, so I don't expect it to fail. So that's good. So now describe debug CLI. So now that this is the last one we need to work on in this video. So we already can help version verbose silence we done, and then now this debug CLI. So what this debug CLI is because it will print out additional information during the CLI is being created and parsed and so on. For one of the reason is because this CLI builder supports plugins, and so loading plugins may be not really say finicky, but maybe a little bit less clear to the user. So when they run it, you say, hey, why it doesn't show up, why the plugin doesn't show up, right? And having this debug CLI allow them to see what's actually going on and about file path and that kind of information, so that they can figure out what has gone wrong. So that's what this is about. And then debug CLI. I don't have the test for it. Oh, I recall the debug CLI is not really testable. Yeah, the debug CLI was not really testable because if I turn it on, it will turn on for everyone. But maybe now it's different. Maybe now it's different. Let me see. Let's see. Test, and just since I just testing out, I don't care. So oh yeah, that's another thing, because yeah, I can always test it. What do I mean I cannot test it? And I have to. Right. So it's a little bit different than in version 6. Because in version 6, everything when we set up create a new CLI, all the information like the commands, and then are you loading a plugins, all those things are at the initial function call. So what I mean is here. So this is the version 6 code of the test. Here on the right hand side. So post this. So here, so everything is passed in here in this option. In these options, it have all those information, and then also we have two variations, right? One is the basic CLI, one is the plugin version. So from the get-go, we know have the user pass in, turn on debug or not, right? So therefore, I think I was doing something over here. Let's see. Let me do fine. It was doing this debug CLI. Oh no. When it do this, is actually the forgot where did I wrote that? Or maybe I really only implemented in the plugin. Oh, come on. There got to be somewhere I know it's working. I have the code working. Log. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I get it all the way kind of outside and doing this to knows that, oh, they have the user turn on debug CLI and it set the level over here. So it set it at a pretty global level, and because that is the case, I can't really test it. That's why I did not have test. But now I might able to do something about it. So let's just enable everything. So doing that, and then let's say low plug. Well, low plugin is really nah. Don't need that. So just CLI pass and saying let's see, let's go back to the string bin and bin dot. Oh no, what I'm doing, no. String bin and then debug CLI, right? String bin, oh, like this. So I don't worry too much about the other details, and I'll wait for it. No, I just want to at least get the base stuff work, right? The basic work. So here I would expect some information, right? So if I run that, turns on CLI level debug messages. Okay, so it's fail. If it fail, if it does not fail, I will be in problem. So back to this here. So now I really need to figure out how to do that. Now this time I will try to make it testable. So the way to do that is kind of simple. Is that I create a fake one. So what that means is I will create, well, let's just create it, debug logger equals to get logger, and then this is, yeah, actually that would be better. CLI build, yeah, let's just call it CLI builder. Over here in the app context, when we create the UI over here, we are also getting the by default it will use this CLI builder. If not, we are using, what are we using over here? Create nothing. and we do not have the name yet. Should we defer the UI creation? Should we defer the UI creation? Because what we want is get the app info and then use that to create the log. Well, but that's later on. Let's figure that out later on. Let's say this is debug, and set the level to log levels debug. And then write to memory reporter, and without any ID, none of that is fine. Don't need that debug reporter. Oh, it's an array, I recall. Is that right? Or is the writer ID? So ID equals to clibuilder. Do that. clibuilder debug. Let's just call it the same. And then hold on. On a second. That wouldn't work. That wouldn't work. Over here, it did a config over here. Okay, let's see how far will it go. This is not what I want. Or maybe it is okay. Can't really remember. Maybe this will be okay. Debug logger dot debug d and console log debug order logs. Let's see what I get. Do I get exceptions? Nope, I did not get exceptions. So this is fine. Yeah, it is probably it is. No, I'm not that confident in this case. I'm not that confident. what I get, because I want to make sure that it actually works in production. Syntax error. Still syntax error? Where? Until I actually write it, I didn't realize that doesn't work. Well, as CLI type, like that, because it's just a small inconvenience. Yep. So this still works. So let me backtrack, because maybe you don't, for those who watching the videos don't know what I'm doing, what I'm thinking over here. So this get log, this log system is called the standard log over here. So I wrote that, and I wrote that to be secure to begin with. So what it means is when it's first used, depends on the environment, it will be either running in development mode or in production mode. And then it was in production mode, then no one would able to add additional reporters to the system. So it is a security feature, because say for example, you have your application, right? You use your log, you use this library to write logs, right? This library allows you to send logs to multiple different places and things like that. So if there was a hacker that's able to compromise your code and get in and add stuff into it, one of the things that they can do is add a reporter which will send all your logs to their own server, right? So that would be a problem. So that's why in the code I have this measure in there. And if I recall correctly, because it's been a while, if you call the config, this config function over here, right, you can specify the mode, and this mode can be either test, development, or production. So once you set it, then it will say set it to production. That's the most secure one for sure. Then all the things that I just said will be in effect, and you cannot add additional reporters. So meaning the reporters you have to define over here. Okay, so instead of saying that, let me create a new one, and let me show you the code, or rather the documentation. So here, this is the standard log, and the documentation is over here. It's saying, okay, so you can just do this logging the mode. By default, it will run in production mode, right? So it's doing that, and when it in production mode, the config can only be called once, and when after it's called, you cannot make any changes anymore, and then it will be fixed. You cannot add report and so on. And then in development mode, you will allow it to call it multiple times, but the first time, or log for the first time, it will emit a warning, say, hey, you're running this in development mode, and then in test mode it doesn't matter. So in the code here, what I have, when I'm creating the app context, when I'm mocking the UI, I'm setting it to test mode. Right, so that's allow me to reuse and record it multiple times, and with no ill effect, right? And that's when you use this test mode. So, but over here, what I didn't recall is that by default, before I'm calling config, can I add log reporters? The answer is yes, I can. Right? Yes, I can, and it does print it out. Right. So yep, so that's what that is about, and that's what I'm trying to figure out again, and to make sure by doing this, adding the reporter will work. Oh, cannot be executed in production. Okay. Yeah. That's why that's the problem I'm facing. So I do need to use the config. And as I'm using the config, I want just to be safe and always run it in production. Well, by default, it will run in production. And then I don't have to set the log level. I only need to set this. But setting this has a problem, because that will stop the rest, but from printing. Let's see. It might be an oversight on my side, and I need to figure out something. So this is good. Then what if I remove that, and I see if the other test will pass or fail. Nope, the others will fail. The other fails because it stopped printing. Yeah, it is a limitation on the standard log, which I will need to work on. I need to add a fix, add an improvement to it, so that if I'm running in test mode, no, I really cannot. I really cannot. I really need a way to bypass it. Yeah, I need to figure out a way to bypass it, because I do want to make it testable this time. I don't want to try to use the same trick. So nope, it doesn't work, and yep, it called for an improvement need to be made. So alright, so in that case, let's forget about this. And then also over here, I need to skip this test. So, and then run again, make sure that everything is still fine. Alright, so So let's keep it like that, and let's do I even need to check in? Oh yeah, I will check this one in. This one I don't need to do anything. Yeah, so let's keep that. Oh, this I support the debug. Oh, I did that again. Add verbose support. Okay, although it also have the call on this, change on this, but that's okay. And this one is really a fix. So what happened here is I tend to put my types into another files so that it avoid the circular dependency issue. But most of the time it's not. It's okay. TypeScript we're able to figure it out, but it's just a kind of a habit. And also you see I'm using namespace to organize the types together so that they are nice and neat. And so when you're using the library, you don't have to, when you try to get the completion, like say over here, when, well, not like that, but import from the type plus, right? When you get here, you only get the things that you can use, you want to use, instead of having a bunch of additional types that put at the top level that doesn't serve anything, and or say 99% of the time you don't have to use it. So so that's just a organization trick or practice you can do when you're writing TypeScript code. And unfortunately over here, because I move it out and using the same name, it have a problem. So I just do this to get around it. When the users using this, it will be okay, it will be the same, because I can still do the export from CLI, and then also export from types. And wow, it's a okay, this is a problem, it turns out. I feel like my guess is this extra namespace is causing the problem. Nope, that's not it. That's interesting, because interesting. It's not doing what I was expecting. So, well, if that is the case, no, the solution is easy. Put that over here, and then remove this CLI from there, and get these from CLI. So there's no types over here. Here you can see here is the circular dependency, right? So the CLI is getting this CLI builder, and then this CLI builder is getting the CLI. Right, so that's where the circular dependency comes in. So but since those only consist of the types, it should work, right? In the CLI builder, I'm not using any function, right, or anything directly. And even if I do, as long as you are in a closure, meaning inside a function when you're using it, then it can resolve it fine, right? The problem is if you're trying to use it outside, CLI, it have something, and then use it over here, then it will create the circular dependencies, right? And also in this case, this is really type. I think I can do it like this, and to indicate that this is only a type import, and you can see it's working. So let's make sure that it works. And then the same thing here, I can do, I can do all this just to make it explicit, because I want the things to organize nicely, so I don't want any circular dependencies. So marking this as types helps me to say if I add this accidentally try to do this, it will be an error, right? So that's another tricks that you can do. So with that, this looks good. Well, I'm not going to separate the two. Fix COI function, move CLI type or namespace to CLI.s. This fix the duplicate index.ts. Okay, just doing that. Right, this breaks the conventional commit a bit, but it's okay, because when we are set and done, we will have so many of this, and we know it's a major version change anyway. Well, actually, in this rate, it would not even be a major version change, because I am keeping the version 6 code in place while adding the version 7. So it could be a minor version, but we already have the feature. So the second fix item doesn't make sense, or doesn't have any effect. The only thing is if we are using any automate tools to generate change log, yeah, that kind of commit will have some problem. So anyway, that's it. That's the end of this video, and let's wrap up. Yeah, so what have we done? We finished most of the standard functions, the standard options for the CLI builder. The only one left is this debug CLI, and which turns out to be a little bit more complicated if we want to test it, that's why I didn't test it in the past. And yeah, so in the next one I will see, try to add that feature into the standard log so that I can come back and implement this or add the test for this in the next video. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.